Speedway. Qualifying is about to get underway. Everything's just finishing up here on track. The session's going on. Currently fastest on track, Eugene Hawk, that number 3 car. Francie Davis, P2. And Zach McAdoo, third. Wait for things to boil down. Let's try this one again. Alright, about to switch over to qualifying. Same top 3 as before. Eugene Hawk, Francie Davis, and Zach McAdoo. Benjamin Thomas and Dakota Cardell finish out in the top 5. Reckless Racing brought some very fast cars tonight. Qualifying so far has been dominated by Aaron. Back-to-back poles to start out the season. We'll see what he can do. In fact, why don't we go ahead and watch on him? Wait for results to come up on the board. We're watching over Aaron and his number 97 Ford. Thoughts on his qualifying ability so far this season?
Well, it's good for Western Auto Racing. They've been so dominant the last 2 seasons in qualifying. it makes sense that they only continue for them. Ford Camp has been pretty well in qualifying. Teammates at Redline Racing last year had gotten a pole at one of the shorter tracks, so Ford's definitely got a good grip on it. And most of the time, when it wasn't a Western Auto or Redline car on pole, it was a Reckless Racing car or a RPM car. So Chevy and Ford very much have qualifying under control.
And so far, Evan Coward is on P1 with Justin Osborne and Ernesto. So some fast Chevys to come out of the gate so far. We'll see how they do in the second lap.
Osborne, of course, is like a qualifying king. We haven't really seen much of examples of that lately, but certainly back in the older days, Osborne was one of the quickest drivers in qualifying.
And as actually his brother, Adam Douglas, is going to be the one sitting on top so far, with Brett Pritchard in second, and then Joseph Vanessa remains in the third spot. Adam so far the only driver on track who has put a 29-second lap time on the board.
Yeah, that's going to be it there. So that's Adam Douglas and Brett Pritchard front row.
Very good job for Adam. And Western Auto Racing now has all three poles of the season still to remain, despite it not being Aaron. It's still dominated by the Douglas brothers in their racing organization.
Yeah, but we're going to find that the leader of the first lap isn't really going to be very safe today. There's going to be a lot of close racing, and we expect quite a few lead changes.
I'm sure Aaron could attest to it not maintaining the lead.
Yeah, it's a product of the racetrack, and the test that we saw this morning for warm-up, there are quite a few lead changes. Aaron Douglas struggled in the test this morning. They made some changes to the car for the race, and they're going to be starting 22nd in the 97 car, but there is certainly a more positive tone in the 97 camp versus this morning. And
as we get set, this is race number 3, and that is actually a typo there. This is race 18.
It's race 3 of 18, not race 18.
Oh, yes. There we go. So, here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, Ryan DeLusso, Timmy Weathers are tied just 2 races going into the season. They both have 57 points, and Aaron trying to get some redemption after he's led multiple races this season and not been able to secure the victory. The same thing just happened to him last night in the Valvoline Pro Series.
Yeah, so this morning in our warm-up session, pit stops happened between lap 59 and the last lap 67. So one of the slower cars stayed out into the very last lap. They tried to stretch the field to the end, and they just couldn't make it. And that led to Brandon Krasta winning the race. So we don't really know if we're going to see the same thing tonight. Of course, there wasn't a halfway break in the test session, so that might put a fork in it. Some drivers might actually be able to go to the end if they stay out in the midway break.
Well, as we're going to look right here, we'll start and go through the field. Starting up front on pole, Adam Douglas starts next to Brett Pritchard in his eBay Motors Toyota.
Then behind them we have Joseph Ernesto and Joey Sanders.
Sammy Cobb starts alongside Evan Coward.
77 car was strong in the run this morning. Behind them we have Dylan Young and Chris Davis.
Eugene Hawk with the fastest first lap. He starts 9th after the qualifying ends. He starts next to teammate Alan Bledsoe.
And then behind them we have Brandon Krasta. We mentioned before that he won the test race this morning. Starts the inside of Ryan DeLusso.
Behind them, Benjamin Thomas. He starts next to Quinn Azo.
And then we have Justin Osborne and Zach McAdoo.
Timmy Weather starts next to teammate Tim Salmon.
Then behind them we have an all-female row with Francie Davis and Caitlin Thibodeau in row 10.
Francie coming off quite a good week. David Walsh starts next to Aaron Douglas.
And behind them we have Andrew Weisbecker and Dakota Cottle.
Rick Hughes starts next to Jonathan Hicks.
And then behind them we have the 82 of Richie Mancha to the inside of Makoto Kino.
Joshua Lockhart, he starts next to Mark Whitley in the 48 machine.
Then we have Scott Vickers to the inside of Louis McClure.
Mariah Soto in the Dutch Brothers Ford. She starts next to Connor Meir.
Then we have a couple red line cars with Anissa Johnson to the inside of Alex Tanker.
More red line cars. Trenton McPherson starts next to the Aramco machine of Jamie Carter.
Then John Raines had a poor qualifying attempt, pushes him back to 39th place, the inside of Daniel Quinones.
That new team of Daniel Quinones rounds out the field with Luis Hernandez. Had that penalty a couple weeks ago. There's still a little bit of recovery to that. This is still a new team. Name's not new, but all new owners, all new everything. So they're trying to build their cars up. Here's to see them get better throughout the year.
So we mentioned previously that we speculated that the 44 car would not have much pace until about race 5. Here we are at race 3, and they're starting outside the front row, and they had a strong run early this morning. So we can expect to see a good run out of the 44 car today, and I'm sure that the team at iReal Motorsports is excited for what speed they do have this weekend.
You know, they always have displayed that they're not here to screw around and not here to wait and slowly build up the performance. They've always wanted to come right out of the gate and just be strong in performance. I can only compare this to them being like our own version of 2311. This team refuses to have lackluster performance no matter what series they started in or ran in. They got their money in trucks, and now they're here to blast out of the gates in the Cup Series.
Yeah, and I mean, Brett wanted to go back to the number 44 because it was one of the numbers that he had when he was by himself. Earlier, of course, we saw him win a championship at number 2. We saw him win a championship at number 51. But he had some of his most consistent runs with the number 44. And so now that they're back in it, Brett, he feels like they are going to have a string of good runs to begin the season here as pace lap will begin.
Adam, that Poet 40 getting a nice parade lap and a beautiful paint scheme. Nice to see it up front with a similarly colored 44 right next to him. These two are actually really good friends off the track.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting to see two numbers in the 40s on the front row. It's not really something that you see often, but
and they're blue, black, green, white.
Yeah. Poet Biofuels, of course, is partnered with Growth Energy, the primary sponsor on the 40 car. So just another B2B deal for the 40 team. It's 3 races, three liveries for the 40 car. Maybe we might have found their primary sponsor by now.
This is typical. Adam always has a lot of paint schemes throughout the year, so this is normal.
Yeah, but it's just another sponsor partnered with their primary. I feel like we're going to be seeing a lot more of their deals as we go throughout the season.
Pace car's about to be docking in, and we're getting ready to take the green flag. Here is Sin City, Las Vegas, Nevada. Adam will lead us to the green flag. Brett Pritchard alongside. Joseph Onesta, with the best start he's had so far this season, has his teammate in tow.
Green.
Green flag is in the air. Adam leads us to the stripe. Cars are revving up. Let's go racing. 67 laps. Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
As the field rampage is on, you're going to want to make sure that everyone gets out of turn number 2 nice and clean.
Already 3 wide, multiple lanes back. A couple cars looked like they were attempting to go 4 wide. We just had a moment of 4 wide. That was the one car backing out between the Red Bull cars. He still has one on either side, and he's a little bit loose between them.
Yeah, so we're going to have pretty tight competition for a while here. It's going to take a couple dozen laps for the tires to start to wear, so we're going to have some good racing here to begin our on-track action tonight. As you see, the 77 to Sammy Cobb already moving on the 40 car. And the 36 car doesn't sound too healthy there.
Yeah, it sounds like there might be a problem with that 36 machine. That engine doesn't sound too healthy. Yeah, he won a starting closer to those front rows. Just look back maybe just a little bit. He could just be down a single cylinder. Adams dropping back. Dylan Young at the front of the pack right now.
Yeah, Brett Pritchard is going to be able to complete this pass here really quickly, though.
Didn't lead the lap, though.
He'll likely lead the next one.
I don't know what's going on with Adam. He's dropped all the way to the 11th spot.
Yeah, you'll see him move back through in a bit. It just takes a little bit for the leader to get going.
And there's his brother right to his inside. He's actually gained 10 spots so far tonight.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of comers and goers.
And Ryan DeLusso gets to the lead.
That's going to keep Brett Pritchard from leading a lap. So DeLusso gets the lap led over Brett Pritchard as Chris Davis is going to try to make it 3 wide.
Sorry, so we're 4 wide back here, and there's some trouble bends in the wall.
Yeah, the 9 car got a pretty good lick on it. He's going to lose a lot of spots, but he's going to have to find a way to regroup and reposition himself.
Yeah, these guys are racing hard here like it's already the final lap, but there's still a lot of racing to go. There was our previous race leader, Dylan Young. He's now being tossed around on the outside.
Yeah, there's the 40 car trying to find his way back into the top 10.
Ooh, 3 cars just hit the wall. Still at the front of this field, it is all Ryan DeLusso leading the show.
And then Osborne is in second. Osborne kind of slipped on the bottom, though.
This track is slick right now. See, everybody just kind of holding on as they enter into turn 1. Turn 1 seems like it has no grip.
Yeah, Aaron Douglas is up to 3rd place now through all this mess.
He's gained 19 positions, but don't let that be overshadowing. Timmy Weathers also started 15 positions back, and Ryan has gained 11.
Yeah, remember the top 2 are tied for the point lead. Not that that really matters at race 3.
Caution's out. We have a caution.
It's likely in turn 1. It's the 22 car. He's in 34th. Not 35th.
Hang on. So major damage to Daniel's car. Let's see if we can go back and figure out what happened to him.
I'll contact the 79. It looks like Lockhart is
involved.
Lots
of damage to the front and rear end of this car. Oh, it was a major wreck, actually. It looks
like...
Part
of the 9.
Yeah, I saw Benjamin Thomas's machine being involved in this accident.
So the 36, who we heard the engine wasn't really running all that well earlier.
And look how far back he is currently now. He has dropped from 4th to 32nd at the time that this accident happens. So let's see what happens as he goes into the corner.
Well, he just cleared himself off the 63.
Yep, it looks like that. Maybe trying to defend the position, knowing he doesn't have a lot of power. He gets right into Brandon Crash's machine, and now they're just along for the ride. Bannon had already gotten into the wall. He gets to the back of Osborne's car. The 15 is going to scrape in there. And then the 22 just hits at full speed, and Connor Mears, see, he's also involved. 48, 27, 21, sorry, she's also involved.
Yeah, Sima Kodakino in there as well, a rookie.
Fortunate for a lot of these guys.
Yeah, so this is going to help everyone who's trying to make it on fuel.
Let's go back on board, and we'll ride with the 22 car as this whole thing unfolds. He already has car suits inside. There wasn't really anywhere for him to go, and you hear the engine's damaged here. It's why he brought it to a stop.
Yeah, people are pitting, so that's going to be good for everyone who did pit. They're going to be able to make it to the end. The 40 cars on pit road, along with the 55. That's going to be very significant because those guys can make it to the end.
And it looks like, despite starting in the 21st position, Aaron Douglas is currently being scored as your leader. He's moved that car all the way up to P1. He was one of the ones we said to watch because he's had a lot of tough luck, especially what happened last night in the Valvoline Pro Series race. So this is exactly where he needs to be, his track position. He's got David Walsh right behind him with Dakota Caudill, Richie Mancha, who has gained 23 spots tonight, and Tim Salmons in the 5th spot.
Yeah, Makoto Kino and Joseph Manessa just came back down pit road and went away. It's quite a bit of it was a lengthy pit stop for the 40 car, so they might have had a little bit of damage somewhere. Just worked to repair the 40 car, it looks like.
Yeah. That's unfortunate.
It'll play into their hands.
They will, eventually. There's still a lot of time. There's still a lot of time.
Yeah, that 40 car is 29th right now, but
Still in the lead lap.
Brett Pritchard and Timmy Withers was the first off pit road, and Timmy Withers is in 23rd, and he and Ryan DeLusso are going to be in a good place to make it to the end. The 40 car is 29th. They're about 6 spots behind the 55. The 55 on an alternate strategy will cycle around to be the leader.
Going to give some attention to our biggest mover in the race. Now, we do have a tie for this. We're going to give it to the highest position driver, Mariah Soto, who has started all the way back in the mid-30s. She sits inside the top 10 right now in her nice red 83 machine.
So as we're doubled up, we'll have 1 to go before we come back to the racing. We'll see the 97 car lead the 56, the 7, and the 82 back underway. But of course, there are drivers with 10-lap fresher tires further back, and it's going to be very beneficial for those guys who are at the middle of the field to be able to move up to the front. The driver of the 97 car is probably thinking of what could go wrong next.
Well, I think he already knows the answer to that, and it's the midway break.
Yeah. Well, the best option for them would be to pit, and we've just seen that teams haven't really wanted to pit during the halfway break. It is the best opportunity to come down.
It's just such weird strategy. It's always going to be a gamble, but it is pretty much the best option we have. Is they will take the green flag. We are back under green. Lap 13 of 67. Aaron to the lead with David Walsh.
Oh, they're
All
4
ready.
wide. 3 cars. Oh, there it is.
There it is, trouble. Francie Davis goes around. Big crash. Ben's involved. Jamie Carter. So many cars. The big one has happened here. Many cars in the field have stopped.
This is going to be a problem with all these guys that are
Yeah,
behind the
they're going to
91.
end up being cycled out. So unfortunately, last week's winner will be ending her race on the back of a tow truck as they move her back to pit road to try and get something fixed. Let's see if we can figure out what went wrong with the number 91 car.
There just wasn't enough room. I'll find that out pretty quickly here. That just too many cars in such a tightly compacted space. The 90, they weren't even really 4 wide. The 91 just wasn't giving her half teammate any room, and just got squeezed into the wall.
Unfortunate for that really nice Best Buy 91 car. Jonathan Hicks involved. He takes a pretty hard lick. He's going to go down to the inside, probably hit that inside wall. 36 with more problems yet again, and Ben loses the entire nose of his car.
Yeah, the 55 car got scraped there too, but it would be a big problem for some of the drivers that I've already had a rough start to the season. Like the 40 car pole sitter is going to get stuck laps down because of this.
Reddick on board with Mark Whitley. Oh, wow. Did you see the hit that Hicks took? Let's bring some attention to that. This is in slow motion. Whole car got airborne, sent back up the racetrack. That is a non-safer barrier part of the track.
Yeah, a lot of the cars that were just involved in the first caution were involved in the second one.
And at the time of the caution, Walsh actually was scored ahead of Aaron.
Quarter speed.
Yeah. Thanks. Big appreciate.
See a lot of damage to the front end of the 88 car. As Makoto and the 63 Brandon Craster are going to hope for waiver rounds to get around the pace car.
And Benjamin over the radio saying multiple explicitives and then just following it up by "it's killed." He is not happy with his car at all. He's sitting right now in the 14th spot, but he knows that car has a ton of damage.
It looks like Sammy Cobb, another one of the fastest cars at a Nexus Racing, was also involved in that latest crash. So a lot of really good cars have been taken out of this one. 27 cars left in the lead lap, as we most likely have 2 laps to green right now. Should be coming to take one.
This leaves 28 cars on the lead lap. And about only 32, 33 are on track currently. Usually we see the chaos in the second half of the race and not the first half.
Yeah, it's just it's the card that they've been dealt. So it's just sometimes cautions breed cautions, and it just, you know, one driver squeezed 2 other guys in the wall, and it escalates from there.
Fortunately, lights on the pace car are out. The drivers have been given the signal for 1 to go. Lap cars will wave around. This is funny. We're getting ready to take the green flag back in the air. We'll be going this time lap 18 out of 67. We are barely halfway to that stage break. David Walsh gives him the commands.
Green flag, green flag.
He waits about to the last second he could possibly get that car rolling, trying to get the jump off of Aaron. Richie Mancha looking to the inside. They are already 4 wide. Right
Timmy
behind
Weathers.
them, Timmy Weathers with contact. Almost gets into Brett.
No, he did get into Brett Pritchard.
What a save there by both drivers, keeping it going without causing a crash.
That's contact with the 9 car that sent him into the 44.
And Timmy Weathers voicing a little bit of displeasure back to the other car, to the surroundings. Up at the front, Aaron now takes the lead. One of the cars he owns is in second. That is Richie Mancha. Oh, into the wall goes the 7. 4 wide now. This could be disastrous. Contact with Brett. He's squeezing them in there, trying to... Or, that's not Brett, I'm sorry. That's Bledsoe. They maintain it, don't wreck. Ryan trying to hold her own here in the top 10. Crazy restart. Some wrecked cars starting to make their way out of pit road. Richie Mancha has taken the lead over the race. That is a Rebel Racing driver, P1.
It's going to be about 10 to 15 more laps before the tires from these cars up front start to equalize.
Yellow's out. Yellow.
Zanissa Johnson looks like. Oh, the 44 car is huge damage. Or, you know.
Ooh,
Brett
wow.
Pritchard, the 00 and the 21. This is going to be an opportunity to put the 40 on the lead lap.
This is the third
Oh, it started with the 44.
No, Brett. What happened, man?
Ex-teammate.
Oh, that's going to hurt. I'm sure car owner Mir is not going to be pretty happy about that. Brett went for a wild ride. Went onto 2 wheels. Gets into Anissa Johnson. This is where her ride begins. We're going to switch over to her. Watch as her car will come back up on the track. She's also... Look at her trying to save this thing. Just makes cons... Oh, 25 is full speed going around there. Let's see what happens to Rick. She gets slowed up. And then in very similar fashion for what happened with Eric at Pocono, gets hit by the 00. I'm sure her back has got to be hurting after that hit.
From carrying that team.
A little bit of shade going on. Rick with his massively damaged machine. Highly unfortunate.
That's another reckless racing car that's got some damage. He'll be fine. He just backed it into the wall. It's not really anything significant.
Got it right on board with the Brett the Threat. Whew. Yeah, that hit Nessa took. He even stopped for that. Rick currently on pit road, getting some repairs made to his machine.
Send the 40 around.
So a lot of chaos has been going on tonight so far.
Yeah,
We've had
absolutely.
3 major yellows.
Though a 48 should be on track. Just make sure before you wave them around that they're on.
Yeah,
Okay.
they are.
The 40 is on track as well as the 63.
Oh, that's a lot of cars we're gonna have to go through, dude. For the first time this season, we got to do a little bit of officiating.
Yeah.
We'll see if they're leaving or not.
No, they're coming in because he's the pole sitter, so he has top box.
I am surprised that Hicks was able to get that car fixed. They are still on track with that horribly damaged number 5 car.
Yeah, I think if they're more than 5 laps down, there's no point to send them around.
That'll be you.
Yeah.
Alright, there's our cleanup crew. Well, how many more of these things we're gonna have?
Well, the session this morning only had one accident, and that was the first lap of the race.
Yeah, when I did, we had my preseason test here too. We only had about a couple cars crash, and some of them were even just single car accidents in the wall, car bringing out a caution. Didn't have anything as close to as what we're seeing here tonight.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just a product of drivers trying to make it up to the front, and all these caution laps are just going to help the 97 car and the 56 cars. They want to be on an alternate strategy to try to make it to the end without stopping. So, I feel it should be doubling up here.
David Walsh scored as your scored as your race leader. Him and David together have been up here battling a lot.
Yeah, the 55 car has stayed out through the messes that it's been involved in, but Weathers is still in 6th position. We know he has a fast car.
You know, despite all the shuffling we've been seeing, specifically to this driver, Evan Coward, he's actually stayed relative to where he qualified and not going backwards and shuffling around the entire field.
Yeah, well, Team Motorsports hired yet another new GM, and this one has paid a little bit more attention to the team than the previous one. So they have a lot better performing cars, and Joseph Ernesto is much happier with the next new change in management at Team Motorsports, and it looks like things are starting to look a little bit better for them. We got at least one car up towards the front, we got another one that's damaged, and well, 2 of them are damaged. We saw the 79 involved in a couple accidents as well.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag drops once again. Aaron will lead us to the line. About 7 laps from our halfway point.
20 car jumped the restart.
I saw that.
There are not very many cars left out there.
No, not a lot of fast ones at all. Running on board, Luis Hernandez. Sorry, dead last. Oh, trouble right in front of him.
Yeah, Mariah Soto and Evan Coward had a lot of contact.
They did a good job of holding it together and not losing their cool. There's still 4 wide. She's shuffling back, trying to hold on to it. Aaron still leads this thing from the restart. Richie Mancher moves back to second. Now to first. New leader once again. Ryan splits to the inside, trying to make it be 3 wide.
Yeah, there's Bledsoe moving up too, as well as Chris Davis.
And look at the car that was just involved in a hard hit on the front stretch. Rick Hughes moves into the top 5.
I'm telling you, it's fresh tires.
Yes. Aaron already fading to the bottom part of the top 10 after this restart.
Ryan DeLuso's leading. You just can't ignore fresh tires.
Can't, no. Especially the track that's been as hard to control as this one has been tonight. You can't ignore it.
Yeah, and Reckless Racing continues to have the strategy of whatever the 24 does, the 25 does as well. So, it seems that these two have stayed together through the first 3 races of the season so far, battling each other. Not very happy battling each other. They're both New Yorkers and they're good friends, but when you race a guy for so many laps, you tend to get frustrated being around him, and we're starting to see that out of the 24 and the 25. But the team continues to put them on the same strategy, and I mean it's working now. I mean DeLuso's leading the race, and Rick Hughes is being second with damage.
You know, maybe a couple of Fords that stayed out. This could also be strategy for them because they know we're about to approach this halfway break. Maybe they wanted to wait and pit till then.
Yeah, it's possible. I see 2 of the Revolution's Motorsports cars also moving up with fresh tires, trying to get around the 82 There's the 4 car, Chris Davis. Chris Davis also pitted earlier. So he's just got so much more grip. Saw the car start to step out, and he was still able to keep momentum through the corner. Manchester's going to be able to pull a little bit down the straightaway, but once we get into turn 1, they'll likely change over to the 4 car.
Rick Hughes trying to get as much as he can up to that 25 car. We're approaching just a couple laps away from this break.
Yeah, you can totally expect the 25 to be able to catch the 24. They're so similar. See the 4 car of Chris Davis is trying to get around the 62 who's blocking.
And 62 also just had a big moment. He almost lost the rear end of that car. Good job keeping that damaged Chevrolet in control. We're about to take the yellow. Ryan DeLusso leading a halfway point of the race. This has been quite the crazy race so far.
Yellow, yellow,
We'll
yellow.
be bringing out the now 5th caution, but this one is a intentional one.
It's a good opportunity to get some more guys on the lead lap that have had damage repairs. Trying to get some guys to have better days than they might have otherwise. So as the field comes around to pick up the pace car, the pit roads will be open this time for the leaders.
Curious to see who will decide to come in or not.
I have to imagine those who saw the benefit of getting fresh tires would want to come down.
You almost just have to.
Yeah, but I mean, like, also, if you know that pitting helped you get up to the front, why not pit again to have even fresher tires?
I expect to see at least half the field come down, being the guys that did not pit on the first one, but we shall see who decides to come on down and who will stay out. A lot of the Fords coming in.
Aaron Douglas comes in this time.
This was what I was anticipating to see. Other drivers who have damage to get some repairs done. So it's been nothing but chaos so far tonight.
There's no reason to wave them around. They're not going to be able to get back.
Yeah, I'm still going.
Because those during the 88 were just flown a lap down, and I think that the 40 car will move back off the racetrack along with a few others. Whitley would be the good one to get back on the lead lap because he has the least amount of damage.
And still, I'm going to be fair. Especially since we don't have these ones often, we should just do it right.
Yeah.
I don't know how fast he's still driving. They put a whole new clip on the front of her car and everything, too.
Yeah, they put the 40 back off the track, so.
I just did the ones that were in the top 5 laps, so.
Yeah, that's how it should be done. So the 97 car finally pits.
We'll see. Well, now he's going to have the fresher tires. He's got a whole field to work through.
Yeah.
But we saw how fast that they can work through the field.
Yeah,
with the
well,
fresh
he's got to
tires.
deal with the Rebel Racing cars and the 3 car of Eugene Hogg. Hogg's got damage, so.
If we actually do stay green for once, strategy might be on Aaron's side.
Yeah. And I'm sure that's what they wanted, but they're going to have to see green flag laps through to the end. You see the slower cars starting to come back to the rear of the field as we have 2 to green. So here we go again. It seems like we have another pass set, DeLuca versus Rick Hughes.
Yeah, we don't get this battle maybe every week, maybe every 2 or even 3 weeks, but when it does happen, these guys always put on a good, entertaining fight with each other.
Yeah, well, we would have saw a battle between them for the win at Homestead if the teams had better strategies, because DeLuca and Hughes were the top 2 cars of those who had pitted. A couple cars were able to stay out to the end because of pitting way earlier in the race.
As you can see, don't forget that Hughes was involved in that wreck earlier in the race. Got a lot of damage to the rear end of that car, but it's clearly not hurting anything aero-wise.
Well, at speedways, you want to have rear end damage because it's less downforce, which means more speed.
Puts him in the corners, but he can fly through that tri-oval. He can get a really good turn 1 entry.
Yeah, I'm sure the 25 car were so disappointed that they backed into the wall.
Well, they get back to the wall, and Nissa punted him across the tri-oval.
Yeah.
As she was mid-spin. It's almost time to hit the restart.
Makoto Kino's going to come flying through.
Ryan DeLuca, Rick Hughes, Alan Bledsoe, Chris Davis, David Walsh, Richie Mancha. Lots of really good guys up here up front to contend for this restart. We're going to have 30 laps to go at the stripe.
Green, green, green.
As the green flag is back in the air, we'll see 3 Chevys versus a Ford in the top 2 rows.
Already great. Oh, and another one right here on the restart.
Oh, this one's going to be huge.
Crash. A hard hit for Daniel.
So the 44 was involved in this one as well.
Wow.
That's Luis Hernandez too, so.
Huge crash.
The 79 car was involved in another one. It's been a busy day for them, but as well as the 3 car for Eugene Hawk.
What a wreck that one was. See if we can get a little bit of a better camera angle.
It's been a frustrating start to the season for the 3 car.
Looks like he kind of just got turned by the 84 car, and Mariah involved with that one. She might have saved it, but in the 20 car of Luis, he just takes a hard pounding into the wall.
Mark Whitley made it through.
Ben made it through. Look at the 55. Wow. Oh, Brett. Once again, 22, team owner of that 20 car.
Kodakino in another one.
Another crazy wreck. That's the 4th one tonight.
Brett said on the radio he's about ready to just park it and grab a beer with Adam on pit road.
It has been an absolute junkyard demolition derby style race tonight.
Another opportunity for Francie Davis to make a lap up.
Really is, though.
So.
It's all fresh ones.
Yep, so it's pretty much... Oh man, Cobb didn't even make up his last lap. Neither did Francie. Those motherfuckers.
Oops. Hold on. Oh, it doesn't do it anyways. Cool. They fixed that. So I think we need to, we'll just go through the field again. Why not? Randy Lusso, currently second leader over Rick Hughes. Alan Bledsoe's in 3rd. Chris Davis in 4th. Richie Mancha is in 5th. Rest of your top 10 shows David Walsh, Dylan Young, Zach McAdoo, and Mariah Soto in 9th. And Benjamin Thomas rounds out your top 10. If you're seeing a bunch of these damaged cars turning into the top 10, this race has been chaotic.
Yeah, and it's only going to continue to be so. 91 car just trying to find any way to get around the 9. They're just getting waved around.
It's been crazy.
Yes, it has, and it's been difficult to get it going. Like the 97 car who's got fresh tires is back in 17th place, hasn't really had enough time to make a run on anybody.
You're down to just 18 cars currently on the lead lap out of the 41 that started this one. They've officially pulled that 40 car into the garage. He's done for the night.
Yeah, it's been in the garage for a while now.
They were working on the thing thrashing on, and they ended up like, nope.
Yeah, because he came back out on the racetrack, and then they just sort of gave up on trying to fix it. What is Francie doing? I think she's coming down. She doesn't want to make up that lap. So here we go. It's 1 to green. The 24 and the 25 will double up one more time. This time behind them, Alan Bledsoe is going to be on the inside, Chris Davis on the outside. And row number 3 is Richie Mancha and David Walsh. Behind them, Dylan Young and Zach McAdoo. And then Mariah Soto and Benjamin Thomas, your top 10. It's been a wild one so far. We'll probably hit our quota for cautions on the whole season in one race. Spill rolls down the back straight. Rick Hughes last season raced for Western Auto Racing, moves over to Reckless Racing with help from his longtime friend Ryan DeLusso. Two New Yorkers run 1-2 in the 24 and 25. Pace car exits the field and hands it over to Ryan DeLusso.
Once again, we get Ryan versus Rick. We'll see what will happen. Chris Davis, Alan Bledsoe would sure like to challenge him on this restart. Here we go.
Rick Hughes didn't get a very good start. It was much cleaner this time, though. Alan Bledsoe is going to be able to clear the 25 car through turns 1 and 2. 25 laps to go. Alan Bledsoe is going to try to look for the lead here through 3 and 4. Thought better of it to stay in line behind the 24 car. Just trying to build up a draft as the speed picks up.
We have a caution. We have a caution.
It looks like it might be the 62.
There he is. See if we can find out what happened. Yeah, here. Looks like they were going 4 wide here. Oh, yeah.
Oh, the 36 car just bolted to the right. That's a lot of damage on the 91 car this time.
And all repairs that they were trying to do on that 45 car, the 91, all of that is just going to go right back out the window. The sport team has been working so hard tonight. This is the 5th incident we've had tonight.
It's not what Bledsoe wanted to see. He wanted that race to go green so that way he can get a run on the 24 car.
You know what's crazy is Aaron, who's sitting in the 15th spot, he has fresh tires. He just has not been able to use them.
Yeah, well, the 83 car's got the same kind of fresh tires, and Mariah Soto's the furthest up the order right now in 7th. Remember the 84 and the 83 pitted. The back markers keep running into each other. It's just eating away at the time. And they get closer to under 20 laps to go. Of course, it's something that De Lusso wants to see. More accidents, less time is going to be able to keep him in a prime position to win this race. See what the back of the 24 car says.
No. Yeah, you'll have that. Awesome.
It's a pretty good line.
Yes.
Yeah, you definitely drink Pepsi when you read that.
Yeah, you'll have that. Yeah, I'll have that. Very Ryan. We'll call it some like that.
Yeah, definitely. Mark Whitley's up to 11th place.
Run from laps down to try and do a recovery, get himself into the top 10. He was multiple laps down, scored at 2 below at his lowest point. Now he's up here, trying to contain, compete again. He's gained 19 spots tonight despite being involved in multiple wrecks. But he's on a mission.
The Rebel Racing cars are on a mission too.
Being given the 1 to go mark, we will restart with 20 laps left in the race. Francie being towed to pit road, cycling around, had a mechanical failure. Tried to continue, but unfortunately it looks like she will not be able to.
It's a lot of money cost to Western Auto Racing in this race. 2 cars and get wrecked out. Just hoping that they can close out with the 19 and the 97.
Get ready to take the green.
So it's back into the hands of Ryan DeLusso.
Heard the engine's bogged down there. He slowed up a little bit. That's a little bit of strategy to try and take an early lead to this.
Yeah, the 4 car got a much better jump than the 24 did.
Oh, there goes Chris.
Yeah, DeLusso's trying to walk the 8 car up the track.
Oh, and he does. Here comes Rick. We're going to go 4 wide for the lead. Chris Davis shoots to the inside, prevent an accident from happening.
Yeah,
Rai Soto enters the top 5. 19 laps to go.
yeah, Chris Davis is just going to try to play defense.
Look
here
at
on the
Mariah
25.
shoots to the inside. She's going 3 wide now for the lead with the outside of Ryan DeLusso.
Yeah, remember, she just pitted, so she has a lot better grip than most of these cars up here. The 4 car is going to block her instead of the 25.
She backed out of making that be a 4-wide pass that would have spelled disaster if that had happened. So we know that her car has speed.
Zach McAdoo making a big move to the inside of the 25. Just can't quite get there.
Here comes Timmy Weathers and Evan Coward. Aaron Douglas also trying to re-enter this entire battle. Everyone's scrambling to try and get to the lead. Right triangle once again. She's going to try and go 3 wide. As the 1 car behind her trying to help out. Ooh, close racing and contact there.
This is just going to allow Rick Hughes to maintain a command, as Mariah's going to have a good spot on the 55 here. Lets the 55 in. Got to be a little more aggressive than that.
I think she's just more focused on trying to get a good run and get past that 4 car, because now, with having no cars around here, she can just focus on getting to the 55. But here comes Zach McAdoo now to her inside. Oh, and Rick hits the wall. The leader's into the wall. He loses his position.
That's going to allow Weathers to be in control of this with fresh tires.
A huge unfortunate circumstance that just happened for Rick Hughes, and he will no longer be controlling this race. Toyota back to the lead.
Yeah, you could have just gotten loose from the damage earlier. Just send him up into the wall. So now Ryan DeLusso is going to try to make up to the 1 car who's going to the outside of the 55. 55 has a lot of damage, and that's going to create a parachute when the 55 is at the lead of the pack.
Fords look like they're trying to do something. They're really disorganized.
Mark Whitley's up to 2nd place now.
Okay, Mark, and he's going to go for the lead. 2 laps down, involved in multiple wrecks, and now he controls this race.
And
It's Mark Whitley.
McAdoo's going to follow him through, and Aaron Douglas is going to get to 3rd here, unless Salmon can get to his inside.
This is like a super speedway race.
And look, McAdoo is going to be able to go to the lead.
And here comes Aaron. He has been up to the front, back to the back, to the front, and back again, and now he's trying to get to the
And
lead.
here's Alan Bledsoe, too. If he's going to have any help.
To add some more of this, we're approaching some very slow lap traffic, so let's see how this goes. Oh, thread the needle. Look at the outside.
Tim Salmon.
Tim Salmon. To the lead with McAdoo. Oh, this is going to be disastrous. These lap cars are going to hold up the entire field here.
Oh, there's contact between the 55 and the 84.
Are you kidding me? Let's do that from here. I have to, I'm sorry.
Black car 30 seconds.
Yeah. Who's the other car?
The 00.
And
You go back to results. It's the 00 and 88. It's the 88.
the race control giving these guys penalties so they get out of the way.
So McAdoo got back to the lead over Tim Salmon. And he's going to be able to pull away because he has so much fresher tires.
It is quite a jump in time. 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds to the car's back. It was a close race until those other guys kind of got in the way of everything.
The lap traffic.
That's why they got penalized.
Moves Aaron Douglas 97 to 6th place as David Walsh goes for 3rd. Aaron Douglas can make quick work of the lap car of Justin Osborne. Set his sights on Ryan DeLusso for the 5th position.
Trying to get to the top 5.
So McAdoo's now got a second lead over Tim Salmon and is almost up to 4 seconds over David Walsh. See the lap car of John Hicks behind McAdoo.
We got 8 laps to go. Result number 1, controlling this one.
And McAdoo was rejected from Rebel Racing. They didn't like his performance last season. McAdoo said, "I'm going to show you. I'm going to go to Revolutions for Motorsport and you'll see what I can really do."
So the Ford Camp hosts multiple races and they average up results from it. And they seed the cars into certain teams based off of their performance. McAdoo didn't make the cut, didn't want to go to the trucks, so he left the team.
He said he is a Premier Series driver, and so him knowing Alan Bledsoe gave him an in to Revolutions for Motorsport, and I mean Revolutions for Motorsport isn't worried about sponsorship because, like Rebel Racing, they have a primary sponsorship for the whole team. So adding McAdoo was a no-brainer for this team, and they were pretty certain they were going to have good performance right out of the gate.
You see the composure. Watching the hands of McAdoo at work as we go into this quarter. You can see how smooth he is compared to some of the other drivers. We showed this last time, the VPS. They were all over the wheel. He's not turning this thing much to the right, more so just catching this thing and letting it float through the corner on its own. So he's also not only did an excellent job of driving this car, but his team did a really good job of setting the car up for this race.
Yeah, the car pretty much sets itself into the corner. You can see him holding the wheel straight and turning to the right more than turning it to the left.
You have really good engineers on your team. You can get setups made for your car like this, and I'm sure that they are very happy with the performance of this car. We were talking about Aaron trying to get his way into the top 5. He didn't have to pass Ryan to do it, but he got around Mark Whitley.
Yeah, and they're going to be able to put the 56 down here too. That would allow DeLusso to move into third place, and they may just be able to get to the 51, but there isn't enough time to get to the leader.
I don't think there's anything they can do to catch McAdoo. He's been on a tear ever since those lap cars gave him that opportunity, and he is gone.
It hasn't been the start to this season that Revolutions for Motorsport was looking for, but certainly a win here is going to help their spirits as they prepare to go through the rest of the season. So Zach McAdoo has 2 more laps. Or is it 3?
Three to go.
So Salmon has fallen back to the 5th position. So David Walsh is currently running second. As we see, Bledsoe's made it past Timmy Weathers, so the 55 car has fallen way back to the 13th position.
You know, I'm sure despite all the things that's happened to Aaron, all these cars, as he now goes around Ryan DeLusso, this is for the 3rd spot to get a podium tonight. He will walk away decently happy with this one. Francie making it back up into the racetrack after being involved in so many wrecks and so many mechanical failures.
There might be a couple points that they're looking at it to grab.
Yeah, this will definitely be a good race for Ryan. So after this race is done, he will be your points leader.
Yeah, Makoto Kino was the highest running RPM car in points in 12th, and that will likely change after this one.
We take the final lap. Zach McAdoo playing around with lap traffic, including his teammate. Come around turns 3 and 4 for the final time.
It's been a while, but number 1 is going to come back to victory lane, and for Zach McAdoo, I believe this is going to be his first win in the series. Might be his second, but certainly he's going to come to the checkered flag in Las Vegas victorious, with David Walsh finishing 2nd, Aaron Douglas 3rd, and then Ryan DeLusso in 4th, Tim Salmon 5th, Mark Whitley in 6th, Richie Mancha 7th, Mariah Soda 8th, Dylan Young in 9th, and Rick Hughes is able to rebound to a 10th position after earlier contact.
Only 14 cars finished in the lead lap. Last one on the lead lap finishing, Benjamin Thomas, who had been involved in half of the wrecks tonight, missing his entire front clip in a heavily damaged car. Managed to only lose 1 place from the starting position. Despite all the problems Ben had, I would consider this race a win, just for the fact that he was able to survive, keep the car running, and stay on the lead lap. So good for him.
Yeah, there's a lot of cars that that can't say they had a clean race today. And so certainly the 9 car doesn't feel too terrible about that, but it's a lot of wear and tear.
After all the poor finishes, after having such good starts, Aaron finally gets a podium. I'm sure he's very happy about that.
Yeah, but unfortunately for some other drivers, especially his teammates, it's been such a rough start to the season for them. They start well, but they can't put the races together.
So another great race finishes up.
As we wait for everybody to pull in, and we will begin tag inspection.
Shell shock.
Yes. Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, it was. Nice.
Well, let's see what the drivers are saying.
Some say that Brett Pritchard and Adam Douglas have already downed a couple cases of beer.
Maybe. Maybe I will go join them over there.
No, race finisher is not allowed.
This is for losers only.
If you go to the garage earlier, you get rewarded with a bunch of beer. You're safe now, by the way. You're good, too.
Yeah, the last one just pulled in. All right, let's go ahead and take a peek at what goes on. Okay. We do have some severe penalties coming out. And be ready, because there's a lot. This is going to shake up a lot of things of what's going to be going on in points. So if you guys are not watching... No. I have to go through them. All right, let's go over the penalty report. To start off, our first penalty from practice goes to Alpine Motorsports, Daniel Quinones, number 22, body panel, minimum thickness. It's a $50,000 fine. No points, just $50,000. Same thing goes to the number 97 car of Aaron Douglas. Body panel minimum thickness, $50,000. Rebel Racing, Mariah Soto's in practice, template compliance, in illegal body. $150,000 penalty to Rebel Racing. She will lose 25 owners points, 35 championship points. You'll see why. Qualifying. There were no penalties issued out in qualifying. However,
Did you just qualify me on accident?
no. These are penalties. You can get disqualified from them.
It would tell you
Not in the system. If you had a penalty that was worthy enough of being disqualified, you just get disqualified.
But then I wouldn't have the same amount of points that I had last race. I think you accidentally hit disqualify instead of wave around.
No, I didn't. So and it wouldn't show up here. It would just put you as a DNF.
Oh, you know what happened? It didn't follow the wave around because look, Francie Davis is disqualified. Remember, she pitted when you waved her around, so it would have given her a black flag. That's what happened.
That's
the guys
weird.
that are disqualified are the ones that didn't follow the wave arounds.
Oh, okay. So Scott Vickers' minimum weight in the race, $50,000 fine, and he will be deducted 5 championship points. And Aaron Douglas, who finished third in the race, template compliance, illegal body, $150,000 fine, 25 owners points, 35 championship points. So a lot of penalties went out tonight. We can sourcing those out into the.
Want to know how many
Will?
points? Want to know how many points you would have without penalties?
I'm going to be leading.
Yeah, you would have been
Oh
leading
no!
by 2 points. What was the first infraction of you for here?
Oh, dude, I had.
Oh, this one's no points.
That's no points.
Yeah, you would have been leading by 2
I
points.
lost 20 grand in this race.
You would have been leading by 2 points if.
I had $200,000 in penalties. Whoops. So some major penalties went out tonight. We'll be giving you a summary in the report. Zach McAdoo is your official winner. Aaron does get to retain his podium spot, but he does lose those points from where he finished. So that will definitely hurt him. And to then summarize for our points leader, it goes back to Ryan DeLusso, who leads 9 points over Timmy Weathers, who is tied with both Tim Salmon and Richie Mancha for 77 points. So it is still nice and close. Ryan with an average finish of 4.3. He's putting on, in this 24 car, the exact type of season that we saw Dakota put on in this same car.
Yeah. Well, that's why they moved him to the 24.
So hopefully Ryan, we continue to see him doing well. Next week we go to Richmond and we have all 3 cars participating. And we'll see you guys then.